When a giant anaconda shows up at a construction site, the workers can quickly determine that something is wrong with it. It is moving extremely slowly and has a giant unnatural bulge on its body. When a veterinarian cut the animal open revealing what was causing the bulge, nobody could believe it. How did the snake even find this so deep in the rainforest? When the workers called the vet back, he decided he would immediately come their way. This snake needed to be cut open cause there was obviously something in its stomach that shouldn't be there. And the vet finally arrived. He quickly sedated the now almost lifeless giant anaconda. It wasn't the first time he did a procedure like this, but he was still nervous. This wasn't his trusty clinic, but the middle of the jungle. Anything could happen here. When the veterinarian carefully cut open the enormous bulge on the snake, the contents immediately revealed itself and everybody's jaw dropped to the floor. But before we start, smash the like button, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss out on our upcoming stories. Workers had been working hard to make sure this new road was finished as soon as possible, but that has not been easy. It has been a slow and difficult process so far as getting materials to the site has been a challenge due to the lack of available trucks, and the constant dangers of the rainforest have also slowed the process down. Workers are way behind on schedule. They started to worry because their employer is threatening to take action if they don't finish the job on time. The employer was even threatening to fire the workers. Therefore, the workers knew they had to take action. They could not afford to be slowed down anymore. Their boss gave them an ultimatum until the end of the month or they would get fired. So they decided to work even harder than they did before, but they did not know that they were about to face another big obstacle. When the workers are clearing out the path where the pavement is going to be late, one of them suddenly jumps back. He had seen something come out of the vegetation that scared him a lot. It was an anaconda, but not just any anaconda, the biggest they had ever seen. It slowly made its way across the end of the clearing they had just made, but decided it was going to settle here. The workers were scared and surprised at the same time. What should they do? The workers were hoping it would pass by quickly so they could continue, but it seemed like the snake slow. Then one of the workers suddenly saw what might be causing this problem for the snake. They already noticed that the animal was moving somewhat slow. When the giant anaconda was about halfway out the bushes, a giant bulge could be seen on his body. The workers could barely believe their eyes. They had never seen anything like this before. With the snake now firmly on the spot that need to work, the workers know that they have to do something. But while they knew they had to do something, they were also really scared at the same time. Then one of the workers approached the snake. "No!" yelled the other workers. They warned their co-worker that the snake might act aggressively in this condition, as he is trying to defend himself if he feels threatened. So the workers came up with another solution. They decide that they will have to call somebody and try to get a hold of the nearest animal veterinarian. When the call with the vet ended, the worker that called him reacted in full shock. The vet says that the snake might be pregnant and is about to lay her eggs here, in the middle of the road where they were reconstructing the road. To make sure this is the case, the vet has a dangerous task for the workers. She tasks the workers with trying to figure out where the bulge is located on the body. To do this, the snake needs to be laid out a bit while it is mostly curled up right now. Most of the workers hesitate if they should actually do this. What if the snake attacks them? Then one of them takes control of the situation. The brave worker decides that he will locate himself at the most dangerous place to make sure the others are safe. Then two other brave workers decide that they will pull on the tail of the snake to try and stretch the snake. Luck was on their side while doing this. The head is quite a bit away from the end of the tail, so the chances of it being able to bite them are slim, especially with how slow the snake was moving before. But they still don't want to take a risk, so they take extra safety measures. The two men try to gear themselves out with some of the toughest material they can find, while another worker joins them to distract the snake if necessary. With lead in their shoes, the two men grab the tail of the snake. All workers are holding their breath, hoping that everything goes according to plan. But there was nothing they had to be worried about as the snake put up no fight whatsoever and let itself get stretched out almost fully. It is becoming more and more obvious that something is very wrong with this animal. Now the workers can see where the bulge is located on the body and call the vet back to report their finding. The workers are curious about what they have to do next, as they have never seen a snake laying her eggs before. But the vet's tone changes immediately when she hears where the bulge is. If the bulge was due to eggs, it would be located way further back on the body. The bulge is located at about the start of the stomach, meaning it is something that is probably unable to enter the snake's body. The snake has obviously swallowed something it shouldn't have and probably required immediate surgery if it was to survive. There was no time to lose. But the workers didn't know what to do, so they asked the vet what they should do. Does she come over to them, or should they bring the snake to her? But for the vet, to get to the workers' location was a challenge in itself, because she did not know the exact location of the snake and the workers. Next to that, it was also rush hour, so she would probably get stuck in traffic. But she had to get there as fast as possible to give the snake the best chance of survival. One of the workers proposed to pick her up, but that would take too long. But there were still people in the company's warehouse who knew the workers' location exactly and how to get to the location. So the vet decided to visit the company's warehouse. After explaining the situation, a manager was willing to help her, and they were going to use his all-terrain Jeep to traverse through the rainforest, which is never easy. The vet experiences one hell of a ride. The journey takes about 3 hours in total. A journey on which the vet had considered many times if the life of this snake was worth wasting a whole day plus extra on it. Other animals in need might have also needed his help, but she had made a decision that she was going to have to stick with. After 3 hours, she got to the snake, and when she was finally able to lay eyes on the snake, she knew instantly that it was worth all this effort. At the working site, the workers were also struggling with the time they had to wait for the doctor. Their fear became the truth. The snake had no intention of staying at his current place. It waited a long enough time and was trying to be on the move again. The workers did not know what to do next. Some workers wanted to just let it go, as that meant they could finally continue working. Why were they caring so much about a snake in the first place? It was just an animal. They wanted to continue to do their job, as they wanted to make sure they were done before their deadline. But there was not much consensus around the whole group of workers. Others had taken the doctor's words to heart and knew that if they let the snake go now, it would certainly die. Luckily for the snake and the doctor, this group was in the overwhelming majority. The snake was still moving very slowly, so the workers were able to block its paths back into the depths of the jungle with plates of sheet metal they had brought with them as supplies. The animal was obviously getting irritated by this, and the workers had to be careful. The workers started to worry. Is this the right thing to do? A snake of this size, even if it was not in great condition, could easily kill one of them if it got hold of them. The workers knew that they had to trust each other. It became a team effort where even the people who wanted to let the snake go help out. When the vet finally arrived at the site, the snake was still laying at the same place as where the workers kept him. But it became more and more obvious that this would not be the case for very long, as the snake had gotten really aggressive at this point. The snake did not even want to remove the sheet metal that the workers put there to hold the snake in place, but instantly targeted the workers that were holding the sheet metal. Many of the workers already had some close calls, but the fear for the snake increased to an all-time high now. Some workers dropped the metal and ran back. The vet had to act quickly and knew that the only chance here was if she could quickly sedate the snake. But sedating the snake was not without certain risks. There was always a risk that the snake might not wake up from this, considering the condition it was described to be in. But seeing it so actively trying to attack the workers, the doctor had the confidence that it would survive the injection. The vet waited for the snake to have his head turned in the other direction. After that, she slowly approached the snake and swiftly injected the sedative into the snake's lower body. Now they had to wait until the snake was fully sedated. Over the next couple of minutes, it slowed down more and more, and the vet was able to inject the snake with a couple of more sedatives which were necessary for a snake this size go completely out. After a while, the snake was completely out. Some workers dropped their knees from exhaustion, and their heart rate finally dropped back to normal a bit. They'd faced possible death numerous times by now, so they were relieved that they survived. Now the vet could finally turn her attention to the big bulge on the snake that she actually came for. She takes her surgery kit out of the big Jeep from the company's warehouse and sets it up to get to work. She can quickly confirm her suspicions that the object is stuck at the entrance to the snake's stomach by feeling its body. The object stuck in its body was something that the snake had swallowed and could not be broken down by the digestive system. At this point, there is nothing else to do but to carefully cut open the snake and get the object out of it. But surgery always comes with a risk, especially if this surgery has to be done in the middle of the rainforest. With the greatest precision and care, the vet cuts open the snake along with the bulge, and after getting through the skin, muscle, and esophagus, the source of the bulge is finally revealed to everybody. Out of the snake came a small plastic box that baffled the vet at first, but the workers immediately knew what it was and realized what happened. But the workers also realized that this was not good news for the snake. This box was their cool box, in which they kept most of their perishables like meat. However, the meat in this one had gone bad, so they left it out of the truck because it smelled really bad. But they still couldn't figure out how the snake found this cool box, as they thought they put it away safely. The snake must have picked up the scent and thought it was prey, so it swallowed it as a whole. But it sadly quickly learned the consequences of an error that might be fatal to the snake. With the cool box removed, the vet quickly starts stitching up the snake again. While she does this, she also chips the snake to track its movement and see if it survives in the ordeal in the long run. Then they wake up the snake, hoping it will not be aggressive anymore. It takes about a few minutes for the snake to wake up. It is still dazed and confused at first, but after a while, it starts crawling away a lot faster than it was before the surgery. After the snake was gone again in the forest, the vet had one thing left that she needed to do. She thanked the workers for their incredible effort to keep the snake and themselves safe. After this, she went back to the city where she has more patients waiting for her. To make sure the snake was okay, the vet did one last thing. She monitored the snake's behavior via the chip she planted. The snake is behaving completely normal and the vet can confidently say that the operation has been a success. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the notification bell so you never miss another unbelievable tale like this one.